here today in celebration of Ben and Gina's marriage. A loving acknowledgement also to family and friends who could not be here in person, but who we recognize in spirit and appreciate all the same. I think I speak for everyone when I say how wonderful it is to be gathered here together in celebration of these two incredible individuals and their loving relationship. So first, I'd like to directly address the families of the bride and groom and ask for their acclamation of support. So, Ben's family. If you give your blessing for this marriage and promise to receive Gina as a member of your family from here on, please say, "We do."
We do.
Thank you. And next, Gina's family. If you give your blessing for this marriage and promise to receive Ben as a member of your family from here on, please say, "We do."
We do.
Wonderful, thank you. Before we get into the rest of the ceremony, Ben and Gina requested that I introduce myself to those of you who may not know me already. My name is Rachel Maggi, and I have had the pleasure of being a friend to both the bride and groom. In other, perhaps more accurate terms, I have had the pleasure of being their self-designated third wheel since the two began dating almost 6 years ago. It's a shame that Ben and Gina didn't actually require a resume to acquire the position of officiant, because I surely have the experience to secure it. Perhaps the greatest benefit of being a self-designated third wheel is watching your friend's relationship grow, adjust, and strengthen from the very beginning. There were so many moments that I was privy to. The evening that Gina came home from her first date with Ben, the many anxiety-inducing debriefs that Gina shared with me about Ben's trials and tribulations over in Europe the summer after they started dating, and of course, the many nights over the following 2 years when Ben came over to our apartment and we learned never to trust him with a shot glass of tequila. Eventually there was, of course, the day that Ben moved into our apartment on an ungodly hot day in August, which, to be fair, are most August days in Iowa. What followed were weeks, months of growing pains, the ones that always come with adjusting to true cohabitation. As a roommate, I was naturally witness to my fair share of bickering from the back seat of Gina's car or behind my shared bedroom wall, but more often, I was witness to soft, shared smiles and cackling laughter. I was witness to casual, comforting displays of affection in the chaotic aisles of our local Aldi's, as well as kisses buried in Gina's hair and Ben's arm held close during quiet hangouts at home. I was a confidant to both tired frustrations over old arguments, but more often, bubbly excitement over planned dates and secret birthday and anniversary surprises. To be here now, reflecting on all of these moments, I'm reminded of the privilege I've had to be a witness and a confidant, but most importantly, a friend throughout your relationship journey. I'm sure that everyone here has their own memories of moments that they've shared with you over the years. And of course, there are moments that only the two of you share, or have only shared in pieces. Your engagement, for example, or your personal wedding vows which were done before the ceremony. This wedding itself is yet another moment that we are all sharing with you, celebrating with you, and one I know all of us will remember fondly. What I find so beautiful about weddings, about the celebration of marriage, is the intentionality. That after many years, and moments shared and unshared, you are making the deliberate choice to stand in front of your loved ones and declare, with absolute surety and sincerity, that you have come to a unanimous and resounding conclusion. In this life, this is your person, and you are theirs. You have chosen each other, and this is your commitment to continue to choose each other. You have shared several years of your lives already, and this is your decision to share all the rest. You have loved each other before this moment, in this moment, and you are ready to love each other after the lights go down and we depart this venue. To love each other when it's the easiest thing in the world and carry that love with you when it's not. Because at the end of the day, good or bad, remarkable or entirely forgettable, you will still have your person and your person will still have you. You will have their comfort, their support, and their loyalty, and they will have yours. To promise this and then to keep this promise is no simple task. But I truly believe, drawing from all the years that I've known you, that the surety and sincerity that you possess now, that brought you here to this major cornerstone of your relationship, will continue to guide you throughout your marriage. that the love embedded in your intention and the intention embedded in your love will bond you together for the rest of your lives. I believe I speak for everyone when I say how happy I am that both of you found each other, how proud I am for how hard you've worked, and how far you've come together, and how excited I am to see what your future will bring. Now, I'd like to invite Courtney to come up and read All I Know About Love by Neil Gaiman.
This is everything I have to tell you about love. Nothing. This is everything I've learned about marriage. Nothing. Only that the world out there is complicated. And there are beasts in the night and delight and pain. And the only thing that makes it okay, sometimes, is to reach out a hand in the darkness and find another hand to squeeze and not to be alone. It's not the kisses, or never just the kisses. It's what they need. Somebody's got your back. Somebody knows your worst self and somehow doesn't want to rescue you or send for the army to rescue them. It's not two broken halves becoming one. It's the light from a distant lighthouse bringing you both safely home, because home is wherever you are both together. So this is everything I have to tell you about love and marriage. Nothing. Like a book without pages or a forest without trees. Because there are things you cannot know before you experience them. Because no study can prepare you for the joys or the trials. Because nobody else's love, nobody else's marriage is like yours. And it's a road you can only learn by walking it, a dance you cannot be taught, a song that did not exist before you began together to sing. And because in the darkness you will reach out a hand, not knowing for certain if someone else is even there, and your hands will meet, and then neither of you will ever need to be alone again. And that's all I know about love.
Thank you, Courtney, who is a friend of the bride and groom. I forgot to mention this, not just the stranger we pulled off the street. All right. I'd now like to bring us to the exchanging of vows. As mentioned, Ben and Gina shared personal vows with each other prior to the ceremony, but this is a moment for them to share with us some of those promises that they've made to each other. So Ben, I'd first like you to present your vows.
Gina, I promise to love you for who you are and for who you are yet to become. I promise to be patient and remember that all things between us are rooted in love. I promise to nurture your dreams and to help you reach them. I promise to share my whole heart with you and to remember to show you how deeply I care for you. No matter what the challenges that may come our way, I promise to love you loyally and fiercely as long as I shall live.
And now, Gina, please make your vows.
Ben, I promise to love you for who you are and for who you are yet to become. I promise to be patient and to remember that all things between us are rooted in love. I promise to nurture your dreams and to help you reach them. I promise to share my whole heart with you and to remember to show you how deeply I care for you. No matter the challenges that come our way, I promise to love you loyally and fiercely as long as I shall live.
And now I'd like to ask best man Tyler and maid of honor Megan to present the rings to the bride and groom. Ben and Gina, these rings are a physical representation of the love and commitment that you share. I hope that they always remind you of all that binds you together in this moment and all that will guide you on your shared journey moving forward. Then, please place the ring on Gina's finger and repeat after me. With this ring, we forge a new path on our adventure together. I love you always as my partner and my best friend.
With this ring, there we go. With this ring, we forge a new path on our adventure together. I love you always as my partner and my best friend.
Now Gina, please place this ring on Ben's finger and repeat after me. With this ring, we forge a new path on our adventure together. I love you always as my partner and my best friend.
With this ring, we forge a new path on our adventure together. I love you always as my partner and my best friend.
And now I'd like to invite Courtney to come back up and read So Much Happiness by Naomi Shihab Nye.
Lady just had a baby, do the reading. It is difficult to know what to do with so much happiness. With sadness, there is something to rub against, a wound to tend with lotion and cloth. When the world falls in around you, you have pieces to pick up, something to hold in your hands, like ticket stubs or change. But happiness floats. It doesn't need you to hold it down. It doesn't need anything. Happiness lands on the roof of the next house singing and disappears when it wants to. You are happy either way. Even the fact that you once lived in a peaceful treehouse and now live over a quarry of noise and dust cannot make you unhappy. Everything has a life of its own. It too could wake up filled with possibilities of coffee cake and bright peaches, and love even the floor which needs to be swept, the soiled linens and scratched records. Since there is no place large enough to contain so much happiness, you shrug. You raise your hands and it flows out of you into everything you touch. You are not responsible. You take no credit, as the night sky takes no credit for the moon, but continues to hold it and share it, and in that way be known.
Thank you again, Courtney. Now, it is tradition in many marriages for one individual to adopt the last name of their partner. In others, couples hyphenate their last names. Some simply keep their last names as they are. What Ben and Gina have decided to do, I believe, is incredibly unique. They are choosing to combine their last names, taking components of both Marks and Cheiffo to form the last name March, spelled M-A-R-C-H-E. It is a last name that they will both share in recognition of their own separate histories, but also in acknowledgement of a future they will create together. So, by the power vested in me, not by God or the state, but as your loving friend and self-designated third wheel, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss.